Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Resurrection Cup 2025. We're here with the first match of the semi-finals weekend. And it's going to be a banger one between Tarczynski esports and esnupicore. I'm Dio. I'm going to be here solo casting this match between Poland and Brazil, because this matchup is pretty much just Poland and Brazil. Tarczynski esports with Malashevsky, Nahus, Rafis, Milosh, and Babiak. esnupicore with Izzy, Korea Maluko, Niash, Kurumi W, and Shaq. I still don't remember how to pronounce SHWK, but this is effectively 5v5 or 3v3 team size 5 Brazil versus Poland in this matchup. I'm excited to see, especially for Brazil, how well they can scale into the semifinals weekend. Seemingly waiting on things to get started with roles and then bans and picks. Once again, as I think should be apparent by now, we're doing staggered bans. So one set of bans for each team, and then the first two picks, and then the second set of bans for each team. Poland with a, I think, pretty solid all-round team, potentially wanting to pick into some of the hiddens, especially with players like Malashevsky and Nahus on their team. Brazil, I think, pretty solid on the hard rocks and DTs with players like Korea Maluko and Kurumi W. But potentially lacking on some of those hiddens. So I definitely think we're going to be seeing some of the hiddens banned out by esnupicore, and Tarczynski esports probably looking to ban out either a hard rock or a double time mechanics pick. If I had to guess, something like the hard rock 1 or the DT1 or DT3, I think, potential bans here for Tarczynski esports early on. That said, even with those DT strengths for esnupicore, you have players like Nahus, Rafis, and Milosh on the side of Tarczynski esports who are all really good at that kind of thing. So I feel like it is just going to be the hard rock ban for them. And again, make no mistake, this is a bit of an underdog match for Brazil. esnupicore finding themselves up against the second seed here as Dadunai, Team China in this tournament, upsetting Tarczynski esports 5-4 in a tiebreaker last week. Sorry, Challenge says 5-4. It was best of 11 last week. I'm going to have to look back at that. But regardless, making it out over Tarczynski esports into the winner's bracket semifinals against Fiat Multiply. And now Tarczynski esports dropping down to the loser's bracket to face esnupicore, who have been there since losers round 2 in the quarterfinals, lost their round of 16 matchup against Monkey Business, had to FF against the first seed, now having to play against the second seed in a row. Okay, it does look like it was just Challenge entered incorrectly. It was a 6-4 win there for Dadunai over Tarczynski esports, just to be sure. It's actually the hidden 2 ban for Tarczynski esports, the DT2 ban for esnupicore, and the Nomad 2 first pick for esnupicore. I'm a little surprised. This is kind of exactly the opposite of what I thought was going to happen with the bans for these two teams, especially with a DT2 ban directly into a Nomad 2 pick is always a little odd there. but very, very different BPM for this custom map by Eurytion. 200 BPM flow aim streams. There are going to be some players who struggle with stamina on something like this as well. Is a lot of very long 200 BPM streams after all, though there is a pretty significant stamina component, but at the same time, a lot of the big difficulty spikes in this map come from the higher spacing on these streams as opposed to just the long stream stamina. And as we get into the first map of the match, Tarczynski Esports with Milosh, Nahus, and Malashevsky on the Nomad 2 versus esnupicore. Their first pick, Niash, Kurumi W, and Izzy coming in for the Brazilian team. Once again, seed 2 versus 16. Brazil, the major underdogs in this matchup, looking to upset Tarczynski Esports for their second week in a row. esnupicore getting their first upset on this match would be really amazing for them, making it into the top 8. And as seed 16 in the semifinals, they're already top 12. They have already outperformed their qualifiers seeding, so just a matter of how well they can scale into these more difficult rounds. A couple of early breaks to talk about: Nahus, Niash, and Kurumi W in reverse order there. Kurumi W missing first, and Nahus missing pretty recently, but another couple of misses come through for Izzy, Kurumi W, and Malashevsky on this KI time. It's just Milosh now holding the FC, the only one in the lobby for Tarczynski Esports. And Niash has some combo for esnupicore, but it's not the FC, and this first KI time proving to be real trouble for a lot of players. Multiple misses coming through for everyone on the bottom row, and it's just those top 2 players, Milosh and Niash, holding on to the high combos for either team. But that FC, nearly 99% for Milosh, is doing some major work right now for Tarczynski Esports. And that is a real unfortunate break for Niash right before the slow section there. Milosh now completely uncontested. Malashevsky almost just about matched by Izzy in terms of the combo, but not the accuracy. And this is already a pretty solid score lead for Tarczynski Esports. It's only going to get bigger as this full combo continues for Milosh, coming into the second KI time now. Another break to come through for Kurumi W, Nahus, Niash, all finding these misses, but Malashevsky, Milosh. Actually, Malashevsky not able to hold on during this section. It's still Milosh, though, holding for Tarczynski Esports, and Izzy has big combo for esnupicore, but it's just not going to match the FC from Milosh. 99 accuracy for him on this full combo is really something. Still holding on to a fantastic score at the moment. And to their credit, Brazil, they have Izzy outperforming both Malashevsky and Nahus, putting up a really solid score here, just about to crest 400k, 1100 combo. Finally misses on that gigantic space stream. Milosh hits it and keeps the full combo going. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. Unfortunately, I think only Izzy and Nahus missing on that diff spike stream. Niash, Malashevsky, Kurumi, and Milosh all hitting it. And with that, it's going to be a major lead for Tarczynski Esports. Milosh with the full combo, 99 accuracy at the end of the map. I think just under 99, 100 at the last slider there. But fantastic score for him. Perfect full combo. And it's going to be a pretty big win for Team Poland. Even Malashevsky down at 475k, still outscoring both Niash and Izzy, the 2 highest scores for esnupicore. So unfortunately for them, not going to be able to convert on the first pick, but fantastic score from Milosh, and Tarczynski Esports, I think, as expected, off to a running start here in this match. You know, again, you don't want to count them out before the match gets going, but definitely an underdog match here for esnupicore. So gotta keep your head up and try to celebrate as much as possible when you can here. Casual 784 PP on the other side though for Milosh on the Nomad 2. And now we get the first pick for Tarczynski Esports. Solid breakpoint to start things off for them. And I mean, if the mechanics work and your opponent is banning out DT2, maybe you just pick some of the mechanics, but no, we're going to pick into Hidden 1. So we're going to ban DT2 and then pick another tap. Popped off and hyper carried everything. He's certainly had some really solid performances, but not to the extent of, say, 2022, 2023. This particular skill set, though, hidden aim at a high star rating, is really a specialty for him. Does find the miss, but is on best accuracy and best score by a pretty wide margin. I mean, well over 100K. Plus a full % in accuracy over the next best act in the lobby on his team from Milosh. And even then, there's just not that big a combo anywhere else. Izzy has some for the side of esnupicore. It's matched by the side of Nahus. KrumiW a little bit more than Malashevsky, but there's just not a big combo lead really anywhere. Another miss to come through for Nyash. KrumiW also finding the follow-up miss, and it's 2, now 3 from esnupicore. The full roster collapse at the end of the map will guarantee the point for Tarczynski Esports. And it's not in nearly as dominant fashion as the first map, but it never looked really scary at any point for Tarczynski Esports. They always had this score lead at some point. They always had either matching combos or better combos than the side of esnupicore. And so always out ahead just a little bit on this hidden one. And I think, you know, a lot of this score lead really is coming from Malashevsky. It's kind of a quiet score. It's never a huge combo. It's not the FC that we saw from Milosh on the first pick, but it is 6 100s, 99.5 accuracy, and a 1 miss right in the middle of the map for Malashevsky. What could have been the 99.5 full combo for him, interrupted right in the middle of the map. And honestly, putting up a massive score difference pretty much by himself for Tarczynski Esports. Milosh and Nahus matching Izzy and Kurumi. So almost the entirety of that score lead coming from Malashevsky over Niosh there. And now we go into Nomad 1 here, Moso Kajitsu, mapped by Alden. This one, not a custom map. This is probably the most straightforward map in the pool, and I think is a pretty solid pick for esnupicore. That said, look, esnupicore, they want to not pick hidden. They want to pick, I think, straightforward mechanics maps. Even then, unfortunately, they're just kind of outscaled by the sheer skill cap on the side of Tarczynski Esports. Rank isn't everything, but when it comes to mechanics maps, specifically aim mechanics and speed mechanics, rank does matter a lot. Especially when you get to this high of a star rating. We're nearly 8 stars on this pool. This map is 7.76 stars. The DT maps are, you know, excuse me, 3 for 4, above 8 stars. So rank really does start to matter a little bit at this point. And you have a couple of 1 digits on the side of Tarczynski Esports, 2 other 2 digits on their side as well. So 4 5 players on that team are top 100. 2 of them are top 10. So the mechanics on this team, I mean, there's not really an upper bound for just straight up mechanics on this roster. As I say that though, a couple of early breaks coming through for Nahus. Izzy will match, but it means the score lead is pretty much even at the moment. And for esnupicore, it's not like they're low-rank players either, right? Most of these players are top 1,000 or high 3-digit, really, for a lot of these players. But unfortunately, Korea Maluko going to find a slider break to trade things out once again. And it's combo lead over to the side of Tarczynski Esports. Another couple of breaks to come through for both Korean and Izzy. And 0 for Tarczynski Esports during that first KI time. Nahus recovers well during that first diff spike. Milosh and Malashevsky make it through unscathed, combo intact from the beginning of the map. And Milosh and Nahus finally finding breaks to trade things out, but Shaq also dropping on esnupicore. Korea Maluko down Izzy, 150 combo ago as well, and once again on the aim pick, it's Malashevsky to hold strong with the full combo. Double S still intact over halfway into the map. And really, there's just not much else to say at this point. It's a little bit ridiculous to watch one player just completely manhandle the rest of the lobby, but nobody else is even above 500k right now, and Malashevsky is still holding this score near the end of the map. Finally, we see somebody crest 500k. It's Milosh and then Shaq right afterwards for both Tarczynski Esports and esnupicore, and there it is, double S for Malashevsky, which is absolutely insane on that map. I mean, just look at the rest of the lobby. The lowest other miss count is a 3 miss from Milosh. There's a 4 miss from Izzy. Those are both really impressive scores. 500k plus on this map is already really good. It's underscored by the fact that this is 7.76 stars and just straight up 200 BPM cross-screen aim basically the entire time. This is not even a 700 Nomad, but it just feels like it should be way more. Absolutely ridiculous score from Malashevsky there. And that is an easy 3-0 lead for Team Poland in this match. Tarczynski Esports now looking really, really solid. Already out ahead 3-0 to start things out. 2 early breakpoints plus their own next pick. Look, if the aim maps are working out so well, why don't we just pick Hard Rock 1 or DT 1? But instead, it's going to be Nomad 5 going to go for some of the more gimmicky stuff here. Double Take by Tarczynski, Dante Swan, and RJ Passin. Mapped by Daycore. This is another custom map here for Resurrection Cup 2025. And it's AR 9.6 gimmick reading alt, which feels weird to say because usually if an alt map is, AR 9.4. If it is AR 9.4, right above AR 9, usually wouldn't be a reading map, but there's a lot of overlapping patterns in this map that feel really awkward to play and can present a bit of a reading challenge. There's a lot of really tricky patterning in this map, and almost all of it is circles. There's very little to do with sliders in this map, so it can be very, very tough to keep combo during some of the longer note chains as well. Looks like we are getting into things. Should be just about ready to go. Should be once again Milosh Nahus and Malashevsky on the side of Tarczynski Esports. And this time around, going to be Kurumi Korean and Izzy for esnupicore. No Niosh, no Shaq for them this time around. I did forget about the intro sliderator sliders. But not too many people struggling with those. Just an early couple of breaks for Korean Maluko on some of the aim control alt patterning instead. Everybody else still on the full combos, but accuracy difference and combo difference in favor of Tarczynski Esports is already giving them an over 150,000 score lead. Wait a second, though. All 3 of them break. It's a double miss for esnupicore, but Izzy is holding on to a full combo. It's still better accuracy for Tarczynski Esports, but the score lead is going down rather quickly. Now under 80k here. Just about under 80k for esnupicore. Another couple of breaks come through for Milosh. Will bring it down. The accuracy drops for Izzy are keeping the score lead basically where it stands, but another few misses from Malashevsky and Nahus, and it may just be the carry from Izzy to push esnupicore over the finish line on this map. We're 2/3 of the way in, still the full combo for Izzy. And the rest of Tarczynski Esports just does not have any combo right now. Unfortunately for Izzy, Kurumi and Korean both have worse accuracy than anyone on the side of Tarczynski Esports. So Izzy as well actually has worse ac than any of the opposing players, but is just still holding this full combo, dragging this score across the finish line. Finally a miss to come through for Izzy. You can see the shakes with the nerves, but Kurumi W is there with combo at the end of the map, and nobody on Tarczynski Esports can put any together. Everyone under 100 combo except for Nahus, and he's under 100 again with another miss to come through, and that is it. 220,000 score lead for esnupicore. They put one back on the board and punch back with another break point of their own. And in an underdog matchup like this, sometimes having that one pop-off score is all you really need. Izzy this time around having the pop-off score in the lobby. Lower in accuracy than anyone on the other team, and that goes for all three of the players on esnupicore. Triple B rank beats out the triple A rank due to the massive combos held for both Izzy and Kurumi W. Score v2 accuracy does matter more, but not quite that much. We're not yet on laser scoring. So not going to end up with the win for Tarczynski Esports. On laser scoring, it might have actually been a win for Tarczynski Esports there with that kind of an act difference, but not here on Score v2, not on stable. Tarczynski Esports now only up 3-1. They are still up 3-1, but it's not a 4-0 lead. And for esnupicore, that breathes a little bit of life into this match. Now, if you're Tarczynski Esports, where do you go from here? It does look like it's going to be that is the wrong team banning right now in chat. That is Izzy from esnupicore banning Hard Rock 1 and pre-firing a little bit. At least now Tarczynski Esports know they don't have to ban Hard Rock 1 themselves. But it is going to be the free mod 4 ban from Tarczynski Esports instead. Going to be getting rid of Hyena Groove, one of the originals here this week in the semifinals. We're just going to make sure that the correct maps are getting banned. And it is going to be a DT3 ban for esnupicore. Okay. Not going to ban the Hard Rock 1. They are going to pick Hard Rock 1 instead. Honestly, I can't say I like this pick for them. It is a bit of a different sort of aim map here in the Hard Rock 1, but it is still an aim map nonetheless, and you've lost all of the aim maps that we've seen so far, so I'm not sure I really like this. I do like picking Hard Rock, but I really would like to see something maybe like the Hard Rock 3 or even a Nomad 3 pick for this Brazilian team. And Hard Rock 1 here, it's a little bit more... It is a little bit more ulti aim focused. There's a lot of flow aim patterns in this map at 250 BPM. So it plays like 125 BPM alt in some places, but is most definitely still an aim map at the end of the day. Lots and lots of high spacing 250 BPM jumps in this map. We'll see if esnupicore is able to bring this one home. Similar to the Nomad 5 in some spots, but definitely very similar to maps like the Hidden One in a lot of other places in this map. And something tells me we're going to be seeing the same roster once again for Tarczynski Esports, Malashevsky, Nahus, and Milosh. esnupicore with a Hard Rock 1 being picked. I feel like we're seeing Izzy, Korean Maluko, and Kurumi. But no, actually, no Kurumi, no Korean. Going to be Nyash and Shaq coming in instead. Very, very early slider break for Izzy, but that's the only break on either side. Accuracy doing the rest of the work for this early score lead. A slider break for Nahus, matched by Shaq on the other side. And another drop for Izzy there. Looks like another slider break. And now it's just Nyash versus Milosh, as Malashevsky drops a slider break right before the start of this first PI time. Another drop to come through for Shaq, but it's just Nyash and Milosh holding these FCs. That's really all that matters at the moment. If either of them drops, the map is potentially decided. Well, there goes Nyash. It's a little bit early, I think, at this point for it to be decided, but with no combo on the side of esnupicore, it's really tough to give them an in back into this map. Izzy, the only combo there, matched by Malashevsky. Even if Milosh breaks, they're still not at a combo lead. And all the meanwhile, Tarczynski Esports just building up this score lead with an unmatched FC for Milosh. And there's really nothing, unfortunately, that esnupicore can do so long as this FC is still held by Milosh. Even then, the supporting combos have recovered fantastically for Tarczynski Esports as well. Malashevsky on 700, Nahus on 500. Best combo for esnupicore right now, 400 on Nyash. And there goes that as well for them. 550k the score lead, no question. Tarczynski Esports coming out ahead on this pick. Going to be up 4-1 by the end of the map. Finally a drop for Nahus once again, but it's Milosh still holding on to the FC. Finally finds a break there, a slider break and then a miss, I believe, afterwards. Malashevsky is going to close things out with some combo, though, on their side. Not like they need the extra combo to close this out anyway. Already up 750k plus by the time he found the break for Milosh. Already up 800k as Malashevsky finds another slider break. And that is a just absolutely massive score lead for the side of Tarczynski Esports. 816k on the Hard Rock one. And yeah, esnupicore, I mean, solid effort, but unfortunately just not going to be able to contest that pick. And now Tarczynski Esports, after taking back yet another breakpoint, going to be in charge of things once again and able to force match point with their next pick if they can pick well. Of course, esnupicore did take a breakpoint on that last pick from Tarczynski Esports on the Nomad 5. So it's not all over yet. But once you get to match point and only 1 point for the opposing team, it really does feel pretty rough for the team at 1 point. So I think a 5-1 lead here would be pretty crushing for Tarczynski Esports. And it's going to be Nomad 3 here for Tarczynski Esports, continuing to pick into ult. Did lose the Nomad 5, but of course won the Hard Rock 1 by a massive margin, so can't blame them too much for just picking into it instead. Nomad 3, What's Up People by Maximum the Hormone. Collab by Moth and Flake. Two very, very well-known alt mappers. And this map is almost entirely snap aim control. And there's an interesting ending to this map, so much so that Moth in the map description put Flake map the ending, don't at me. So just take a look out for the ending of this map once we get there. And maybe you'll see why he has that in the map description. As we get into things, Milosh, Nahus, Malashevsky, once again, just these three players for Tarczynski Esports. All they've needed so far. Nyash, Shaq, and Kurumi W in for esnupicore. We're going to put a second point on the board. Avoid match points here for esnupicore. couple of early breaks for Nyash, Malashevsky, and now Nyash again, finding another drop, but still 2 full combos for both teams. Again, accuracy ahead for Tarczynski Esports. Combo also ahead with Nyash really struggling here compared to Malashevsky, but there goes Shaq as well now. And it's just Kurumi W with a full combo for esnupicore 1 compared to the 2 FCs for Tarczynski Esports. And this reverse choke for Malashevsky, less than 100 combo back from an FC, also adding quite a lot of extra score onto them right now. Only 120,000 the score lead, but that's because we have not gotten that far into this map. This is a rather long pick, 4 minutes on this map. You'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who can FC this consistently in match. And there goes Kurumi W, there goes Nahus. Milosh and Malashevsky, though, still with big combo in this first TI time. Milosh on the FC, Malashevsky on the reverse choke. No combo anywhere else in the lobby. And was there really ever any doubt with these 2 players on a map like this? Milosh, especially recently, has been really, really solid in a lot of tournaments. My mind effectively goes back to OWC 2024. He was a major player for their team there. Malashevsky, of course, not playing OWC 2024, but still being a very, very solid tournament player, one of the best that we have ever seen. Even if he's not super active at the moment, has still put up some really solid scores, and to his credit, is still keeping up with Nahus here on this Nomad 3, still outperforming anyone on the side of esnupicore. Finally a break for Milosh, though. That full combo goes down. Unfortunately, the big combo for Shaq drops immediately as well, and there goes Kurumi W right afterwards. And even if neither of them dropped, Shaq was still being matched by Nahus on the other side. I don't know that it would have been able to take back any of this score lead. Now up to 540k in favor of Tarczynski Esports. Not quite doubling the opposing team's score, but pretty darn close. And here comes the ending section. Not this section, not right now. But immediately after this stream section is when you get this part. Ah, yes. My favorite comboable section of the map. Really solid stuff there from Tarczynski Esports. Triple 500k, nobody above the 400k mark for esnupicore on that map. It's a nearly 700,000 score lead. And Tarczynski Esports on the Nomad 3. Clutch up once again, go up 5-1, match point now. It is esnupicore's pick next. But unfortunately, they are down 5-1. It is match point. Even if they win this pick, they still have to go through 2 more of Tarczynski Esports picks and another one of their own picks and a tiebreaker to make it out of this map and into the top 8 in the losers bracket. Let's see if they can pull off the impossible. It has to start here with this pick right now. No more room for error, no more room for losses from esnupicore. Where do they want to go? They go with the DT4. A pretty quick pick at that. And I do kind of like it. Your only win so far is the Nomad 5. You go with something similar enough. There's not really any other alt maps left in the pool that are similar to the Nomad 5. Nomad 3, really the only one of them. So this DT4, I think, does make some sense. Yorma Kendini by Morveo Tessi. 186 BPM after DT. 124 BPM alt on Nomad becomes 186 BPM gimmick streams on DT with a little finger control mixed in. Super high spacing, low object count streams, short and long bursts, and some short streams in this map that were originally mapped as alt. So some very odd spacing and aim control required for them. And once again, another custom map here for Resurrection Cup 2025. This one mapped by Orke. Let's get into it. Same three players for Tarczynski Esports, Milosh, Nahus, and Malashevsky. A bit of a roster swap here for esnupicore, going with Izzy, Shaq, and Karumi W. Just swapping out Nyash for Izzy on this map. And this map really does not hold back in the intro, just immediately gets into things. Full combos matching for Izzy alongside Milosh and Malashevsky. Early couple of breaks come through for Nahus. Karumi W missing right at the beginning of the map. And Shaq missing as well. But there goes Malashevsky, and now score lead over to the side of esnupicore for the first time in a little while here. Matching full combo for Izzy and Milosh. Better recoveries for Shaq and Karumi W. Do find a couple of breaks for Karumi W and Shaq, but there goes Milosh. That's the full combo down for Tarczynski Esports. Nahus also missing during that PI time, and Izzy holding the FC once again. All on Izzy, same with that Nomad 5. But if you can get one big pop-off score, it can be enough to pull things to your side. The problem here, big combo for Malashevsky on 99 AC. Recovery combo matching for Nahus and Shaq means that Izzy can't pull this back by themselves. They need a little bit more of this recovery combo, but there goes Milosh and Shaq. That's not what you want to see for esnupicore. Shaq needed to match Nahus, not Milosh. That lower combo now for Karumi W has to do even more of the work, and Izzy, finally a break though for Malashevsky to come through. And with that combo break, combo lead goes back the way of esnupicore. Another miss to come through from Milosh and Nahus. It's all three of the Polish roster down, and esnupicore pulled strong during this second KI time. 3/4 of the way in, and a 200,000 score lead manifests out of nowhere for esnupicore. And finally a break comes through for Izzy, but their work is done. 850K in the bag for the team captain. Shaq and Karumi W to pick up the slack at the bottom of the table there. But wait a second, there's another couple of breaks come through for both Shaq and Karumi W. There is combo on Milosh and Malashevsky, but not nearly enough time. 230K at the end of the map. And esnupicore sneak up on him from behind. When they're cornered with no further losses allowed, they take a second point off of the major favorites, Tarczynski Esports. Izzy with the 913K S rank there. Not the FC, but a fantastic score nonetheless. And then, of course, Shaq and Karumi W matching Nahus. Able to put up some respectable support there for Izzy, without which this team would not have been able to take the point. And that will not be a Nomad 4 pick, as Izzy is not on the side of Tarczynski Esports. And instead, it's going to be this hidden 3 for Tarczynski Esports, which I think makes sense. This is another tech map in the pool, except this time with hidden. And it is the first original song that we have seen all match long. Got 4 pickable originals, and this is the first one that we are going to see, Etheria by Jekko. This original mapped by Scammyfly and Girltech, and the background by Mokasan here. .185 BPM tech map, 3 minutes long. CS 4.6, so a little bit high circle size, a little bit of a precision element, and the patterns a little less wild because of that as well. You turn up the circle size and the pattern complexity usually comes down just a little bit. And that is the case here, a little bit more focused on the flow aim in some places rather than intense slider gimmick. And now we get into things, what could be the last map once again for esnupicore. Goes without saying, but at match point for Tarczynski Esports, every map could be the last map here for esnupicore. Life on the line with every pick. They have to find yet another victory and keep themselves alive for a little while longer in this tournament. With elimination on the line in loser's bracket, Tarczynski Esports looking to close this out, move into the top 8 as expected of the second seed. On a pick that I think works very, very well for their team, Milosh, Nahus, and Malashevsky, all very good hidden players, and it should go without saying Malashevsky, one of the best tech players in the world, should be pretty comfortable on this, and that's how things are looking here at the start. No breaks so far for the Poles. 3 so far for the Brazilians. Izzy on the biggest combo, but not on an FC, not able to match any of the players from Tarczynski Esports. Another couple of breaks to come through for Kurumi W and Nyash. Finally a break for somebody on the side of Tarczynski Esports. It's going to be Nahus on the lead into this 1/3 section that finds the drop. Malashevsky and Milosh still holding him. There goes Izzy. No combo whatsoever on the side of the esnupicore. Everybody under 100. 2 full combos still intact for Tarczynski Esports. You don't want to call it until it's over, but the fat lady is warming up backstage right now as this pick crosses into the second half of the song. Finally, a break comes through for Milosh, but Malashevsky still holding the full combo. As if there was ever a real question about how Malashevsky would do on a tech map in tournament. Guy eats this stuff for breakfast, and there's not really anything you can do about it on the opposing team besides have somebody else at that level. And unfortunately for esnupicore, nobody able to match this kind of a score from Malashevsky. And fellas, the fat lady is not warmed up. She's breaking into opera on stage already. Tarczynski Esports up 620,000 score. So big of a score gap, they don't even need Malashevsky's FC to win the map right now. That is how dominant this pick is for Tarczynski Esports. Milosh and Nahus would be enough. The 2 lowest scores for them would be enough to still win this. esnupicore just outmatched on this pick, and Tarczynski Esports going for the throat with this hidden 3 last pick. Finally, another couple of breaks come through for Nahus, but it's all already over for the side of esnupicore, no matter how you slice it. 1v3 for Malashevsky, or 2v3 for the bottom 2 scores on the side of Tarczynski Esports. Either way is an absolutely ridiculous scoreline and victory for Tarczynski Esports. And they move on into the top 8 after this semifinals victory. Very well played to them. And to esnupicore, I mean, look, they're out of the tournament, right? They are eliminated in this match. And it was a pretty rough match for them. There were a lot of maps where they were down, you know, 1 million team score, 500k plus team score. So it was pretty rough at times for this team. But you got to remember, this is seed number 16 out of qualifiers. They qualified in to a spot that they should have been eliminated last weekend. This is a team that should have been eliminated top 16, not in top 12. Not only have they overperformed their seeding, they have also managed to take 2 points off of the number 2 seeded team in the tournament, right? Tarczynski esports, they got upset last week by seed number 10. They shouldn't be here by all accounts. So this is a really, really solid win for the side of esnupicore, being able to take these points, and should be a pretty solid motivator for future tournaments, knowing that you have the potential to perform at this level on a high 7-star, low 8-star pool and still take points off of the big guys. And for the side of tarczynski esports, I think, you know, being able to win 6-2 with 3 out of your 5 players, 0 roster swaps the entire time, it's a pretty good sign going forward in the rest of this weekend that you probably won't have too much trouble with anything else going on. And now we get into a little tiebreaker showcase between these teams. Extinction by 5 Kilobyte featuring Azure. 210 BPM Tech Mechanics hybrid map. Very much primarily the 210 BPM streams and tech sliders on this pick that give it its difficulty. This map by Taikani for the semifinals here. Not too much else to talk about during this tiebreaker. Solid combo right now for Malashevsky. Solid recoveries as well for Izzy and Karumi. It's actually 4 of the Brazilians in the lobby right now with just Malashevsky for the Polish team. This is kind of ridiculous. Once again, it's Malashevsky holding the FC, but Izzy again is holding some really big recovery combo. Oh, finally misses, of course. But yeah, this is just what Malashevsky does on tiebreaker picks on very difficult map. We've come to expect it a little bit, but that doesn't mean it's any less impressive. Very, very good score already for Malashevsky on this map. Just a matter of how good of a score he can get. And we go into a stream section, just pure mechanics. Now, finally, the break for Malashevsky comes through on the pure mechanics stream section of all places. But, I mean, still a ridiculous score already. 450k on a tiebreaker like this by itself would be really good. But with the timing of that miss, I mean, if he can pull off a similar performance in the last third of this map, you can expect probably close to 600k by the end of the map, maybe more. And as we get ready to finally send off esnupicore, once again, a congratulations to them for outperforming their seed, for placing top 12 in the tournament, and for taking a couple of points off of the number 2 seeded team in the tournament for Tarczynski Esports. A good luck to them in their next matchup versus either Waddle D or Waddle Do in the top 8, fighting for a spot in the finals weekend. Fantastic score from Malashevsky on this tiebreaker. Does find a couple of drops here on the space streams at the end, puts him below 600k, but still a really solid score from him on the tiebreaker, and fun show for anyone watching there. That is going to be it for us for now. We're going to take a very short break and come back in just a couple of minutes' time with the next match of the tournament here in Resurrection Cup. Once again, congrats to Tarczynski Esports on the win, and good luck in their next matchup. And thanks to esnupicore for playing. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with To Be Determined versus Us on a Train in the losers bracket. Stay tuned.